I'm speaking for a moment as someone who does pretty well out of repairing cruciates in dogs.
Yeah.
And orthopedic injuries, orthopedic conditions, to my mind, are probably the most noticeable condition in obese animals. I know there are many, many others, but the most noticeable one, and the one that actually, here's the secret trick: if clients have dogs who are very overweight and have limb problems and arthritis, most of those can have a reduced level of medication or even no medication if they just get their pet to lose weight. Yeah. But we vets don't tell them that because we want to do the operations. We're like, no, that's not true. Actually, we do tell them, they just don't listen. How can we get them to listen?
How can we get them to listen? Well, it's funny, I was reading an article this week. It was a review article about communication around obesity, which was very interesting because what we, I think, and it was describing in the veterinary profession do is we say, right, you need to do this. You're doing this wrong, go away and do that. And the problem is with obesity, because there's so much emotional attachment to what's going on in that family house, people feel immediately criticized. And so what they do is they go, I'm not listening to him. He told me my dog was fat, and then, I don't like him. I'm not going to see him again. And so they don't.
You've alienated them, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And so the way to communicate with them is much more in an understanding, supportive way, using what they want to do, as in their thoughts, their solutions to come to, an end goal that we all want. So yeah, it requires a very different approach. I'm guessing with your cruciate surgeries, we're going to have to do this, I'm afraid, and that's, there isn't a whole lot of other choice, but it doesn't kind of work like that with obesity. It's very different.
Are there any particular questions that you use to try and crack that? Because you're exploring the psychology of the owner, aren't you?
Yeah.
And whether they're accepting that their animal has got a problem before you even start looking at what we're going to do about that. So are there any particular phrases or angles that you take?
Yeah, so I think my favorite question for getting all that information is, I will say to them, how do you feel about your pet's weight, your dog, your cat? Mm-hmm. Because in asking them that, they can't say yes or no to it. So they have to give me a little bit more.
Yep.
They will either say, oh, he's got no problem, I don't see anything wrong, in which case, okay, we've got a journey to go on here.
Absolutely.
Or they will say, I'm actually quite aware. Yeah, we know it's a problem, blah, blah, blah. He's been limping. And, they then will start associating other problems with it. And suddenly I've got a really good idea of what they think and how they're feeling. And then I can take them from there and say, well, if your dog needs a cruciate surgery or something, what about if we got some weight loss? Maybe we could get them off medication. And you have to find their motivation. So if, better mobility, less money on medication, whatever it is, to motivate them to want to make the changes themselves.